2nd of March 2023, around about 9 o'clock in the morning. Beautiful morning, blue skies, a little bit hazy, so not 100% visibility, but certainly good enough to fly. Wind was pretty strong, around about 10 to 15 miles per hour, the odd gust slightly stronger. Must admit I was in two minds whether to fly or not. However, walked down to the launch and then a little bit further east and could see another wing up in the sky, and they were doing quite well. They didn't have full penetration, but they were getting along the ridge quite well and moving forward. I knew that if I could launch nicely, get away from the ridge and get out away, I was going to have quite a decent flight. So that's what I was concentrating on. And as you could see, just need a little bit of speed bar to get away and get to a safer area away from the ridge, and then flew east down the ridge towards Alfriston. As the wind was stronger on this occasion, I decided to use my older wing, the Epic, the BGD Epic, together with my open harness. It's just that I'm slightly heavier on the weight range on this wing. Even though it's a low B, I tend to be able to penetrate a little bit easier if the wind's stronger. So I flew quite a nice distance down towards Alfriston, about a kilometre and a half down east, and then turned back towards launch and back towards Firle.
15 miles an hour back, so about the same pace left and right there, east and west.
Yeah, it was quite easy keeping the altitude. It was just a matter of moving slightly back towards the ridge at the right time just to get back up. So I think the highest I got to was about 850 feet. Yeah, my flight plan was going to be doing a few beats left and right between where I launched from, which is near to the car park at Peep, over the launch at Peep and down towards Alfriston, and then back a couple of times before trying to head as far west as I could towards the Firle launch, and then land safely in that direction. Picked up a few semi-good thermals on the way along the ridge, and there was a couple of moments there where I had to use speed bar just to push away, but nothing too horrendous. I was quite pleased with the way I flew and kept away from the ridge and the sort of danger areas there that could have pinned us further back. I really appreciated having another wing in the air around us. I watched it quite a lot to see what they were up to, what direction they were going in, the speed they were at, and how far away from the ridge they were flying. The winds gradually picked up, and actually turned, so it was northeast initially, as I said, about 15 to 20 miles per hour, and it gradually went more northeast, which was pushing us further down the ridge west towards Firle, which was the intention of my flight, to get along the ridge that way. So what I did, waited for the wind to pick up slightly, and then just ready to choose my moment to turn and head towards Firle. So I've now decided to head west down the ridge, kind of the point of no return really. I'm not going to head back east. So this part of the flight, the most important thing really was trying to keep a good distance away from the ridge so that I could judge my turn around Firle Beacon, which is just up ahead to the left-hand side on the screen at the moment.
There we go.
as I got to this point, altitude increased, felt a lot happier with where I was. Obviously good bottom landings below us and potentially slope landings if need be. Could see right down the ridge line and exactly where I wanted to get to. Also wind behind now, so speed increased quite considerably to around about 35 miles per hour.
Let's get over these trees.
So pretty much just about over the wooded area to the east of Firle Launch and car park to the left-hand side, and then looking into the distance towards Lewis and Mount Caban, slightly to the right ahead.
That's Firle car park.
So altitude starting to drop here, getting down towards 500 feet or so, but some really good landing options ahead. Wasn't going to try and do a top landing at all, so going to head out away from the ridge line and find a nice big field in the distance to come down into.
Probably going to bring it down in the fly Sussex bowl, rather thing to see if we can get around the corner. Maybe on the Firle landing, we'll see. There's something safe.
So around about 5 kilometres, 3 miles or so from launch. So now I've got a little bit of a walk back, but really enjoyable flight so far. Just got to find a nice safe area to land. So here, just wanted to hop over this hedge straight ahead of us, make sure I'm clear of there, and then come down a good distance from the trees in the distance, so no chance of any rotor or getting dragged into any fencing or the trees ahead. So around about 40 minutes in the air, nice landing, quite happy with that in a decent area there. Packed my kit away, walked back, around about an hour or so to walk back. On the way back there was a few modelers flying in the bowl over at Peep, so managed to have a chat with a couple of them. So I think it's always important to speak to the people that share the air with us. And then once I was back at Peep, a few of the hang gliders were just setting up and then getting underway, and wind had picked up northeasterly, got up a little bit stronger, so the wind was good for them, and I think they got up to around about 1,500 feet or so in the thermals there.